Hi everybody, just another short video here today. I wanted to share a video of my new vintage buttonholer in action for this Kenmore 158.1802 machine. I shared a video previously using the buttonholer that came with the machine, but actually there was another type of buttonholer, this one, which was included with later models of the 1802. I have the 1802 version 2, but I'm not sure about the 1803, but this was definitely included with the 1802 4. I realize that's a little bit confusing. That's the version of the manual I have, and this is the one that's shown in that manual. So I wanted to test it out and just see how it differs to the other buttonholer, if it's better, worse, that sort of thing. So what you need, obviously you need the buttonholer, and this one, it's important to note, is plastic. The one that came with the machine is, or with my machine, is metal. So I'm guessing we know the reason that they started using this style instead. You will also need, in addition to the actual buttonholer, you need to have this cover plate that you put here on the machine. If you don't have this, the buttonholer will not work. So mine came with the machine in the tower of accessories, and you will need to have that to make this work. So just remove the cover plate, whoopsie, add the new cover plate, bump your camera, you just pop that on there. And then the cool thing about this buttonholer is all the different styles are included around this circle. I'm not sure how close I can get in there without the reflection being crazy, but this says 1/2. So this is our 1/2 just plain rounded buttonhole. There's also keyhole styles. So that's a 1/16 keyhole style, a 5/16 regular style, and so on. So all of your templates are included on this instead of having to keep track of the little templates that came with the other buttonholer. Is that a big deal? Not to me, but it is kind of cool that they're all just on this. So let's see, which one do we want to do? Let's try a 1 1/16 keyhole buttonhole. That's pretty big. That'll be easy to see. So the one you want, you turn into the circle. You just kind of have to pull it away, and then it'll snap into place when you get to the one you want. And then you go and take this piece, and this little screw here will screw into place on the bed of the machine, and you will drop wherever you want to start on your buttonhole. You'll drop that portion of the little template onto this gear, and then when you sew, this will turn and it maneuvers the buttonhole. Important to note as well, you want to drop those feed dogs, and we're going to put this onto our, I always go the wrong way, buttonholer setting. That's an actual setting on the machine. Our stitch length, I'm going to turn way down to between 0 and 1/2. And our stitch width, let's start at 2. I can't remember the recommended settings, but I think 2 is a safe place to start. Then I'll just go ahead and put this onto the machine bed under the foot. You can lift the foot up on this machine higher if you need to. Whoops. Easier to do this when it's not on camera. There we go. Screw that on, and then you can still see that it will move forwards and backwards when it's not dropped onto that gear. I'm going to pull up the bobbin thread through the plate before we get started, just so it's on top, like that. And then I always try to start at sort of the bottom right of our template, but it's kind of difficult to see where to do that. Let's see. That seems about right. All right, so just grab your fabric that you want to put the buttonhole onto. Good idea always with buttonholes to grab a scrap of fabric and test this before you put it on your garment. This is just a single layer of quilting cotton with some iron-on interfacing on the back, just one layer. You can see I had a failed attempt here earlier. My cover plate had become dislodged, I guess, and moved. So the buttonholer got stuck and it couldn't complete the buttonhole. So one more thing to check for. But I'm going to go ahead and try it again here. So you just put the fabric under the presser foot, just your regular presser foot. Lower your needle. And then as I sew, this is going to do all the work. I'm not directing it. It's going to pull that fabric through and make us a lovely 1 1/16 keyhole shaped buttonhole. That's really hard to say. There we go. Coming up to the top of that keyhole. Down the left side. Here's where we had a problem before, so let's hope it turns that corner. Yay! And I've overlapped sufficiently. Let's take a look. Nice. Now that is a massive buttonhole. I'm not sure when you would ever need such a large buttonhole. I guess maybe on a coat, like a winter coat or something. That would be really nice, big wooden buttons. But yeah, and you can play around with the settings. So if you make your zigzag narrower or wider, that's going to affect how this looks. Let's make it wider. Let's try it on a 3 and do the same buttonhole next to it. The worst part of buttonholes is lining them up, so I have no idea if this is going to be even in the same vicinity, let alone the same lined up exactly, but here we go. Oh, that didn't sound good. Actually, I did line that up pretty well. Look at me go. And then that made a significantly wider stitch there. So this was set on a 2 and this one is set on a 3. So you can see the big difference there. You could get those stitches closer together if you wanted by shortening your stitch length even more. Since we're here just for fun, let's try one more style of buttonhole. Let's try the eyelet. I haven't actually tested the eyelet and I want to see what it looks like. So you can just move this over here to do that if you want. Spin that over to the eyelet. Put it on the gear. You'll know kind of when it clicks into place, but it is a little bit hard to tell where exactly it is on that little pinion gear thing. All right, let's make an eyelet. Okay, so it just makes a little eyelet. Not sure if that's showing up. Whoops, super well there. Where's my camera? There we go. Just a nice little eyelet. And again, you can adjust the settings, stitch width, stitch length, all that good stuff. You may need to also adjust your presser foot pressure if you find that the fabric isn't moving well or it's bunching up, different things like that. You can adjust the presser foot pressure to help move the fabric. Boy, I'm having real problems talking today. While we're here, let's go one more. Why not? Really live it up. Let's do a 5/8 regular oblong buttonhole. I'm gonna leave the foot pressure where it is. Oh, I am actually going to decrease the width a little bit and the length. All right, let's go. Now you can see this one got knocked a little bit askew. As I came around the bottom, it didn't feed quite as well as I would have liked. So it ended up, see how it sort of jogged over to the left there? These are the things, this is why you have to test all the time. So I would probably adjust my foot pressure and see if that helped. I might also just add another layer of interfacing because this is pretty thin. But I mean, if I was actually working on a garment, would it just be one layer? I'm not sure. So anyways, always test your buttonholes regardless of what machine you're using. But that was a pretty good test, I think, of this handy dandy little buttonholer. This vintage Kenmore buttonholer that comes with this Kenmore 158.1802 series machines. You'll need this plate, as I've already mentioned, which came with the machine, but I'm sure you can find those on eBay as well. Just make sure that you find the one that fits your machine, because there are several styles of plate that go on various machines, and some of them have this cutout like this and some don't. So definitely, if you're looking for a buttonholer, this was not expensive. I got it on eBay for I think about, oh gosh, $15 or $20 Canadian, shipping included, so that's pretty great. It would have been more if I did have to source this plate though. Anyways, that's all for me today. Hope you enjoyed that look at my vintage Kenmore machine and buttonholer. I'm constantly posting about this machine, but I do really love it, and that's why. Have a great day, happy sewing, and enjoy those vintage machines.